I'm going to give you some teaching around what this life force energy is and what energy orgasms are. This is for everyone. It's for men, it's for women, it's for singles, it's for couples, it's for people of any age and any sexual orientation. The thing is that this life force or this life force energy is something that we all have. The common misconception is to think that you have to be some guru or have to have studied for years in order to be able to have an energy orgasm, or to be able to have full body orgasms with your partner, or to be able to simply just have a heart orgasm when you're on the beach or in nature. So people often think that it's difficult, it's hard, it's some weird energy that's going to enter us. And the thing is, it is so simple. And that is why I'm bringing this teaching. I want to demystify this concept of life force, because it's something that we all have. The fact that you are alive means that life force is moving in you. The life in you is your life force. So as long as you are alive, you have life force. And therefore, this is something that we all already have, and we do not have to find it. What we do want to do is we want to, in a way, sink back, relax back, meet ourselves again, and simply start feeling this life inside ourselves. It's at first very subtle, but the more we start feeling simply ourselves, our life flowing inside our bodies, the stronger it gets. Now, many people want to expand their sexuality and want to take it to the next level for themselves and for their lovemaking with their partner. And somehow we all know deep in our hearts that our sexuality and our spirituality grow next to one another. That when we are working on our spiritual paths and working at becoming more conscious and improving ourselves as human beings, we all know deep in our hearts that we have to look at our sexuality, and we have to bring this in harmony in our lives and bring more consciousness to it. But sometimes there's like a disconnect between this like sex and the way or it's portrayed in the world. Sometimes there's something very shameful or over the top or perverse, and then the spirituality, which sometimes just pulls away from this sexuality. So we want to bring those two together, and the way we bring them together, the spirituality and the sexuality, to make ourselves richer people, we bring these two together in our bodies. And it's so simple. We start embodying our life force. We start embodying our sexuality, our sexual life force energy, and start realizing that our life force, our sexual energy, is something that can move through our whole body. You know, when I was on my path of becoming sexually empowered, I also had to move from feeling disconnected from my sexuality to a place where I feel, okay, I've integrated more of empowered myself more as a sexual being. But I remember reading books and going to women's circles and even going to a tantra teacher, and I kept thinking, I think something is supposed to happen, or like this snake is supposed to wake up in me, something's supposed to happen, but it all sounded very mysterious, or it sounded like out there or difficult. And then the day when I started feeling this pleasure in my body, it started in my feet and then just moved up my legs, and I could feel the inside of my body, and it felt like I could feel my soul inside my body, and it would just light up my whole body, like a lighting up my whole body with joy and just feeling so much pleasure moving through my body, and everywhere this like light joy, this light source of joy would be moving through my body, I would just realize I'm having an orgasm, I'm having an orgasm, I'm having an orgasm. And I realized, okay, now I have arrived. I realized that this is it. It cannot get any better than this. This is the most physically ecstatic, divine thing that I've ever felt in my body. And when I started feeling it, I realized that it is so simple. It is so simple to fall back into it. And that's why I am now teaching you guys what this feeling is that I'm feeling in my body. I'm translating to you what's happening in my body. And looking back, I'm looking back at all the different things that I did in my life. And they were, in fact, all very physical. They were very physical actions of starting to know myself in my body. Things like dancing, using my voice, noticing slight contractions and expansions, meeting my emotions. You know, they were all, and expressing my emotions like with my body, with my voice. These were all things that helped me to get to know myself better, to sink back into myself and to start connecting with my life force, orgasmic fantasticness that just through my whole body. And it's so practical, it's so straightforward that I want to demystify this whole process for you, because it's all just a simple process of moving back to yourself, moving back to yourself, moving back to yourself, moving back to yourself, and meeting yourself even deeper and deeper and deeper. So a lot of people say, like, what is this like energy thing? And it all sounds a little like woo-ha. And I had a client the other day, a beautiful client, that came in and said, you know, I want to work on my sexuality. I'm working on my consciousness on all levels in my life, and I know I should work on my sexuality, but this energy thing, it just sounds a bit like weird, and I don't really believe in things that I can't see. Well, half an hour later, he was moving and writhing around with feeling full body bliss running through him constantly. And then he met this energy inside himself, and he was like, oh, okay, now I feel. It's simply our own energy, you know, it's simply our ability to feel. So this energy is so subtle, you know, it's like a fine tuning to start feeling ourselves, and to also to welcome and to feel our sexual energy, and then to slowly start practicing that this can move. This awareness, these sensations, these subtle sensations can move through our whole body, And the more attention we give to it, the stronger it will become. So this energy is simply an extreme form of presence to yourself and presence to feeling. And that's when I come to my next point, is a lot of people say that they are struggling to feel. They feel disconnected from their bodies. Like, some people are struggling just to have this normal orgasm, what we traditionally know as an orgasm, like a clitoral orgasm for women, and men maybe even struggling to have an erection and feeling. Now, this is all related to feeling and to fine-tuning ourselves again. So we're not going to move towards our full body orgasms or our energy orgasms by moving towards overwhelm or overstimulation, or coming at ourselves even harder, or with more harsh images or more harsh touching and overwhelm and more things. Less is more. We are going to start whispering to our bodies until our bodies become so fine-tuned that that whisper will start feeling like a shout. So can you understand that thing of that gentle sinking back into yourself and fine-tuning your sensitivity? You can start, I just want to give you a practical thing. You can start by just interacting with your one finger, where you can stroke your finger and touch your finger and play with your finger, and then bring more and more and more awareness and presence into your finger. Presence, 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 presence. Presence to your own body and presence to what's happening right here and right now. And start fine-tuning to what you are feeling. And you can do this for about, you can set some time out for yourself for about 10 minutes and notice that when you really put your focus to this area, to all the sensations, you might even be able to give yourself an orgasm in your finger. Okay, so start just by working with this incredible power that you have with your brain to bring incredible presence to the here and now, and to yourself and to your physicality. Right. Now I just said orgasm in your finger. Okay, so the word orgasm can be another block for people. You know, that can be another, like, there's so much story behind orgasm, and I think everyone's story is slightly different. So to simply throw the word orgasm around carelessly, saying energy orgasm, you know, we have to look very carefully at what does orgasm mean, and what do I mean when I say orgasm. Because this can really pull you off the track of wanting to achieve your energy orgasm, your full body orgasm. And there's so many things that we can learn about orgasms. Like for men, for instance, that the orgasm and the ejaculation do not have to happen at the same time. So we need to teach men the ability to have an orgasm without ejaculating. And the same for women with the clitoral orgasm, that it feels a certain way. So when I say orgasm, and I mean a body orgasm, it's going to feel slightly different to the clitoral orgasm. And these are all kinds of things that we really need to unpack and understand. And I want to go much further into this topic of male orgasm, female orgasm, and then the difference between a genital orgasm and a full body orgasm. And I'm going to teach that to you in our next lesson, lesson number 2 in this series, because it is a very important lesson of understanding what this energy orgasm is. We need to unpack orgasm. We need to reclaim orgasm. So you'll get the next video soon. But before then, I'm going to ask you to give me feedback on, chat back to me about this lesson that I've just given you, where we speak about the mystery of the full body orgasm, the demystifying of the full body orgasm, the coming home to the physical, and about how do we join our spirituality and our spirituality and our sexuality in our physical bodies.